This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so Nicki, I like Nicki, man, obviously, but I don't always know about these rants, okay? She's blaming Jay-Z and Rock Nation. She says, needing the barbs is an all-time high, every distraction, so let me start by talking about what I found out about them. Real juicy confirmations. All sounds familiar, trying to tear a husband away from his wife and family with lies, friends in high places, yuck, no more distractions. They don't want you to see what I'm liking, so that feature was demolished. Listening devices, needing barbs. Years of interfering with the way I earn my money. Years of putting people in harm's way. Game over. Would you continue working in a field where you were maliciously being kept away from your audience while everyone pretends to be on mute? Goofy Bleek. Oh, okay. Okay. Talk about Memphis Bleek. See, Nicki's siding with Wayne, and she also doesn't like Meg Thee Stallion. So she has reason to believe that Rock Nation's behind trying to stop certain things. I believe they probably have. Okay? But Nicki's not laying out a good case for that. I would work on good information. Maybe Nicki's rich. She could do a documentary on it, a small behind-the-scenes documentary. There's plenty of people that have been hushed by Rock Nation. If I were her, I would invest in a documentary about Tory Lanez, who Candace Owens is now flip-flopping and acknowledges maybe she was wrong about Tory Lanez being guilty. Candace Owens is the biggest flip-flopper ever. I think she's now a Democrat. She used to be a Republican. She does whatever she wants at the moment, you know? Like, Candace Owens is like a woman of vast knowledge and no loyalty to anything. And she doesn't know who she is. She changes every time. Nicki Minaj, I believe her. Would you continue? You know, I believe her. Even though, you know, Memphis Bleek was like, oh, talking about firing us from the NFL. There's no us, Memphis Bleek. You're not in Rock Nation. You're Jay-Z's bag boy, and he pays you handsomely for it. That's what you are. Jay-Z doesn't tour. You ain't on the mic. You're not doing anything. You might peddle a couple cases of Douce here and there. And that's fine. Listen. You're in the pocket, bro. You good. Let's call Goofy Bleek to the rescue. That's funny. Nicki Minaj says, they've had access to all my accounts on all platforms. I didn't change the passwords either. I let them continue doing everything they allegedly did. I don't know. You know, like, hey, I need more information. That's all I could say. Papoose. He used to clown rappers for being older. Now he says you got to stop basing everything on hip-hop on age, because now he's 50-something, you know? I've heard some young artists who are nice, and I've heard some older artists that are nice. Yeah, you can still be nice and older. But if you don't stay consistent, you lose your audience. Papoose isn't consistent. It's just facts. Just because you dropped a record last week and you dropped 20 million records last year doesn't mean you're consistent. That means you woke up and you want your career back. Papoose left his career back in 09 when Remy Ma went to jail. 08, 09. He gave up. Taxstone says, I don't think Jimmy was talking about Little... I think Jimmy was talking about Little Nas X and not Nas. I dead thought he was talking about Nas for a second. That's good. I ain't gonna lie. As much as I don't like Taxstone, that is funny. Jim Jones' best record was Stolen. Really? Oh, yeah, well, no, it was written by Max B and Stack Bundles. Jimmy Jones, better than Styles P? Wow. Confidence with the skill set. Back it up is normal internet behavior, though. Okay. David Benever reveals why he doesn't sign some artists. He says, some black people don't want to free the slaves. They want their turn at holding the whip. I want to be loyal to my people. Let me break this down for you and why this is goofy. For every three smart things David Banner says, he says one goofy thing, always. This is why I can never get fully on board with David Banner. I'm sure he doesn't care. I'm just telling you, listening to him, I've heard him say some goofy stuff, and this is one of them. If you have the knowledge and the power to sign people and put them in a position and give them a fair deal and show them how to do things on their own and empower them, why wouldn't you do that? It's because he's never had the juice or the opportunity to have his own label. He said, I could be the richest guy in the South and signed everybody. No, you couldn't have, because no label ever offered you a label deal. They did in the beginning, and you didn't perform. You had a great year. I think it was like 2 years right there. You dropped like, he has a lot of hit records, okay, for that time period. But then he just stopped. I would say he had a good solid like 3 years of just dropping a lot of good records and on a lot of great records. 06, 07, 08 maybe. I don't even know. Some pocket right there. But, if you really want to help people, you get in position and then you help them. And you show them. He hasn't done anything. Russ does more than he does. Russ is always telling people how to do this and that and this. He leads by example. Well, Cardi B's just trying to get at Offset. She wrote Stephen Diggs on her nails. It's better than putting a tattoo on your body. I did that before, and I had to get it removed. It's bad. I had a tattoo on my wrist. Clown me for it, please, because I deserve it. I always vowed to never get a tattoo too, and then this one night, idiot me. I was like, yeah, let's do it, baby. Thought it was forever. We had gotten back together or something. What a dumb. Luckily, it was easily removed. But my gosh. I look back and I was like, Jordan, you were an idiot. Nicki Minaj tells Kaya Sanat she's getting a jet for her and her 5 friends to go to Prague. That's dope. Cardi B refused to eat Louis Vuitton chocolate because she's from the Caribbean. I'm going to tell you something. This is just how it is growing up in New York. Maybe everywhere, but in New York, right? So you get people that are actually from the Caribbean, right? Those people don't rub it in your face all the time, right? It's their kids that are born in America and are insecure about their Caribbean roots because they want everyone to know that they're special and unique. And they rub it in your face, and that's what Cardi B's doing here. She says, I don't know if I'm going to even eat these chocolates. Louis Vuitton gave them to me. Does Louis Vuitton give chocolates out to celebrities? I bet you those chocolates are worth like $500 to $1,000. It is too expensive to eat. But you know what? If you value, if you're gonna who's gonna look at Louis Vuitton and be like, oh my gosh, it's the it's like really like that's a really materialistic way to think. And people are materialistic. Who am I to speak? I don't know. I had Louis Vuitton at one point and then I got rid of it. I sold it all because it's like I was lucky when I went through my Louis Vuitton phase. I was able to, a year or two later, I was able to get the same amount of money back because the price had gone up. That stuff is just, it's another thing to get stolen or this. I'd rather have nice furniture in my house, a decent car, nothing too crazy, and security, Anyways, looks like it looks like our country has decided to take action in Iran. I wouldn't worry too much because, listen, Iran is ran by some people that really hate us, okay? So I guess I kind of had to be, they took action on military bases in Iran. So hopefully Hopefully Iran can be liberated and people can have peace there once again. Iran used to be the Dubai of the Middle East, believe it or not, way back in the day. And it's been run kind of crazy for a while, and the people are looking for freedom. So let's see what happens. They do not have military to attack us, so we'll see what happens here. But it is scary. I'm going to be honest with you. It is. A lot of turmoil going on over there, and yeah, I'm not on any side, but I definitely am about the safety of America. And if these people had, I don't know, who knows, bro? You know, this is just, well, I'm not in the military, but I'm just hoping for the best, basically. That's all we can do. Don't get mad at me. I'm just hoping for the best, all right? And Big Meech, Blue Da Vinci lets it be known why he would have did all the time anyways, even if he did snitch. He said the investigation on Cuffy lasted from 2010 to 2017 because even though he was arrested, he still was doing discovery and appealing things and everything. So he would have still, Big Meech still would have done 13 to 14 years, maybe 15 years, you know, and then he would happen to get out from time cuts and everything recently. But he put some clarity on that. And that's about it. Appreciate you all. This is JordanTower JT News. Smash that like button. Peace.